Aloha, beautiful souls. I wanted to ask you, how many of you have ever had a time in your life where you were trying to lose weight or you were trying to meet some kind of health goal because you were diagnosed with some type of illness, or maybe you were just trying to get that body that you've always wanted for the summertime, or maybe because you had a very special event coming up like a wedding, and you wanted to make sure you could fit into that perfect outfit that you had selected. When we talk about losing weight, what are some of the first things that come to your mind? Maybe you're thinking like exercise, maybe you're thinking about changing your diet some way, or maybe you're even thinking about taking some medicines. Now, what if I were to tell you that there was some other technique to help you lose weight that had nothing to do with any of that stuff? How does that sound to you? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about how past life regressions have helped some people meet their weight goals. My name is Ryan of tranSOULution, and I'm here to assist you along your spiritual journey of self-discovery and deep transformation. Now, I used to work in the medical field, and weight was such a very sensitive issue for so many of my patients, and issues such as obesity can really have a lot of health implications. You know, when you are overweight, it can affect your breathing, it can affect the function of your heart, it can affect your joints and your muscles, and it can affect your life expectancy. So many people across the globe at one point or another had to hunker down, watch what they're eating, get a little bit of exercise in, and maybe some people went so far as to take some medicines or some kind of supplements, all in the efforts to help them lose weight for whatever reason. Now, what I didn't ever think would be one way to lose weight is by doing a past life regression. So some of you may be thinking like, what? Past life regressions? First of all, what is that? And second of all, how can it even help me lose weight? So past life regressions are basically a way for you to tap into your subconscious, unconscious mind, to tap into the depths of your soul to access memories from a past life. And why are these memories so important? It's because sometimes those memories are having a negative or adverse effect on your life right now, okay? And how you can do a past life is you can meet up with a past life regressionist, such as myself, and we can guide you into a hypnotic state and help you access these memories from a past life. Now, some of you may be a little bit concerned and thinking to yourself like, ooh, trance-like state? That sounds kind of weird. I don't even know if I want to do that. And maybe some of you have heard some really weird things about hypnosis, like that people were made to like cluck like a chicken every time they heard the word hello. Or like maybe like sleeper agents or something like that. But let me reassure you that when I and other people who do past life regressions do this type of hypnotherapy work, we are not doing any of those weird tricks and subconscious programming to you. What we're trying to help you do is bypass your ego mind so that we can tap into those deeper layers of your soul, of your very being, and access them just so that your conscious mind could remember, okay? So that's what we're doing with a past life regression. Nothing weird, nothing scary. It's just a type of therapy. Now, on to the more important question. How can this actually help you? One of the things when it comes to losing weight that a lot of people kind of forget about is the conscious and emotional elements when it comes to weight loss and body image, right? And so for people who have maybe a negative self-image of themselves, it's a lot harder to lose weight. What you really need is kind of like a cheerleader. You need someone who has faith in you. You need that belief system that you can actually do this. Now, some of these subconscious, like negative self-talks are coming from past lives. So just go along with me on this one. We're going to do a little bit of story time so I can share with you some of the experiences some people have had when they've gone into a past life regression and some of the information and guidance that they've received that help them understand any of the subconscious blockages and like reveal these blockages so that they could kind of be wiped clean so you can actually be successful with your weight loss goals. Now, one of those things is some people in past lives, their bodies were mistreated. And one way that can manifest itself is perhaps in a past life, the person was a prostitute. Or perhaps in a past lifetime, that person was sexually abused in some way. Now that can be a really big trauma, right? Sexual abuse to anybody at any age, at any time. And what that does is it creates this negative self-image for some people. Why do they think they got sexually assaulted? Like maybe perhaps it was because they were beautiful and good looking, or maybe it's because they were like a slave or a servant, right? Or maybe it was part of their profession at the time, like I said, like a prostitute. And so it really creates this link between the idea of the body and the dangers of what can happen with your body. Like, for example, what can happen if you are too good looking, too attractive, then something terrible may happen to you, like physical abuse, sexual abuse. And so how that translates is that in this lifetime, you want to avoid trauma, abuse in all its forms, and so you gain weight. Why? Because in a past life, maybe when you were slimmer or you had the type of body that was considered attractive, you were assaulted. And so in this lifetime, you subconsciously create a type of body, maybe by overeating, eating the wrong things, not exercising, that other people will view as unattractive. And how is this going to protect you? It's going to protect you because people who are unattractive, perhaps they're less likely to get put into a corner or put into a position where they can be a victim of sexual abuse or physical abuse even. And so once you realize by tapping into a past life, you experience something negative, you can realize that in this lifetime, you are safe and that what happened in the past doesn't have to happen again in the present. Right? So it breaks down that belief of that a physically attractive body that's of a healthy weight is one that will be prone to abuse and mistreatment. Is that making sense to some of you? Another way that tapping into a past life can help you understand more about your weight loss goals is if you've lived a life in the past where you weren't properly nourished. For example, maybe you were a slave and your opportunities for eating a nice, full, hearty meal were very, very, very limited. Or perhaps you were grown up in a time where, crops didn't always grow as abundantly, and so you ended up starving. And so in this lifetime, how that can translate is you can be prone to overeating, right? So in that first example, we were talking about how, you might not be losing weight because on a subconscious level, your thought process is that if I lose weight, if I look attractive, some type of abuse or trauma or injury will happen to me physically, right? Now, in this case, you end up overeating and you end up holding on to these calories longer than necessary, right? Because in a past lifetime, you were starved of these nutrients, right? And now your mind is like subconsciously telling your bodily functions like, hold on to this weight because we can be at danger of starvation and not having food. Does that make sense? And so psychologically, these are two ways in which your belief system, whether conscious to you or unconscious to you, can be affecting your efforts to lose weight. So I found this truly, truly fascinating and interesting to read about and actually to experience with one of my clients who recalled a life when they were a slave and they actually, felt that hunger of not having enough to eat. And that helped shed light on their life of like, wow, why do I have this tendency and this habit of overeating? And so, with that, they were able to have a better sense of their body, a better sense of their belief systems, and they were more aware of, hey, if I'm full, I don't have to keep eating. And thankfully, they're in a position in this lifetime where they have the resources and means to get food, and they will never go hungry. Now, I do want to say, of course, this is very important, that no matter what your goals are in life when it comes to health, wealth, spirituality, love, things like that, if you need professional help, I encourage you to get it. It's not always easy to address these types of things on your own, especially if there's a deep-seated belief system that's working against you, right? And of course, when it comes to your physical body and your physical health, it's always important and beneficial to consult with a healthcare provider to make sure that whatever diet plan you're doing, whatever exercise regimen you're doing, or if you're interested in taking supplements or medicines, that you get the correct information and consultation by someone who's licensed and an expert in those areas. So those could be healthcare providers, dietitians, nutritionists, fitness instructors, fitness coaches, right? Just make sure you get all the information that you need to help you with whatever goals you're trying to meet. So I'm excited to hear what your thoughts are about this, on how past life regressions can be one element in helping you lose weight and help you with your other goals on just being healthy. Well, this is Ryan of tranSOULution. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you on the next video. Mwah.